Hello everyone, and welcome again to this segment of TGIF, where this girl is Flossom. We welcome you today, and we would like to thank you so much for your comments and your suggestions and your feed on the last segment of our show, which was actually the first segment of our show. And we thank you so much for that. I am your host, Vicki Roberts, and I am sitting today with I just can't even tell you the mood that's in this room right now, the atmosphere, this atmosphere changer, Pastor Tammie Sadler. Thank you, Pastor Sadler, for accepting our invitation to be our guest today. I feel you right now that I'm telling you the anointing that's in this room is awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm so excited about what you're about to tell us today. So as I was reading your bio, I understand that you guys have a couple of kids.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are the eldest of 4.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I was born here in Dallas, Texas. Mother and father, Deborah Moore and Willie Moore. I have 7 siblings, 6 which are living, 2 which I grew up with. I have 2 adult sons, 28 and about to be 30. I'm a grandmother of 4.
Bless you.
My background in work is I was an apartment manager, leasing director.
You know, that's funny because that's what I do.
Really?
See, you meet in the chairs. Yes, that's exactly what I do.
I did that for many years, and then I changed profession into the medical field. I did the back office, I did the field work, and then the last job that I had was a billing custodian for a third-party billing company.
Right. So you've been a lot of places and done a lot of things, and that's what we like. You know, we want to have a variety to introduce to the people, and I like that. However, there is a passion that you have, and what is that?
My passion is ministry.
The passion of ministry. And tell us about your ministry. What is the name of your ministry?
Armed with Fire Healing and Deliverance Ministries.
Say the whole thing.
Armed with Fire Healing and Deliverance Ministries.
I love it. Don't you? I love that. That says something. That says something. Tell us about that.
Well, Armed with Fire Deliverance Ministries was birthed in 2009. And Armed with Fire Healing and Deliverance Ministries was birthed from brain surgery of 2017.
Right. So what happened? What happened with that? What happened with the change? Why the change? What happened?
One day I went to work and I sensed some things that was going on in my body. My head began to swim, and the only way that I can describe it is when someone hits you in the head real hard, like on cartoons.
Yeah.
They hit you in the head real hard and you see all those little birds flying around your head. Well, my head was positioned at one screen. I had 3 monitors. But it seemed like my head was at all 3 monitors. And at that time, I had HR to call 911. They came to my cubicle, and from there, they took me to one ICU hospital, and then to another one.
So there was no warning?
When I went back and thought about it after I was released from the hospital, that weekend prior to Monday, it was warning. I just didn't know what it was. I had real severe headaches. But I pressed through it because I would always have migraines. Over the years, I've always had migraines. And I pressed through it. And when I thought about it on Easter Sunday, as a matter of fact, I went and got this book that's called You Can Learn How to Defeat Satan.
Watch that.
And I began to read out of that book. And I had begun to tell the people.
Preparation already.
Yes, I had begun to share with the people what the book was saying. And the book was, there was a part in there that it was talking about Job and how God used Job, how God talked about Job and how faithful Job was and how good of a servant Job was to Satan. So God told Satan, have you tried my servant Job? And while I'm on YouTube reading my book to the people, I'm like, I'm telling them this is what I want from God. I want God to talk to Satan about me like he's talking to Job. I want God to say, have you tried my servant Tammie? She's faithful. She ain't gonna blah, 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 blah. I didn't know I was setting myself up for money. So,
but he knew.
He already knew. He was preparing me. And then, so that Monday morning when I went to work, I sit in the parking lot every day and I talk to Facebook Live. I was doing my Facebook Live. And I was explaining to them, reading some more of the book. So I go in and getting ready to do my work. At the time I was listening to Live at 5. And I would do my notes while, I did my work. And then all of a sudden around noontime, this is when this feeling came on. I went to the break room because I thought maybe I was hungry. And I felt my way to the break room because really I literally could not see. But I've been in this building for 2.5 years. So I made it back to my desk and it was like, no, something is not right. So then the paramedics came and then they took me to Las Colinas Medical Center where they told me that I had a tumor in my head. Not knowing that, a tumor in my head. So they said that they were sending me to Plano, Medical City of Plano, where the best carnal doctor, best brain doctor is, which was Brent Morgan. I made it out there late Monday night. In the middle of the night, Tuesday, a doctor came in and told me that I was having brain surgery, that they were going into my brain to remove a tumor.
So had you already contacted your family, everybody kind of,
I
got your support in place? And
what happened is when I was on my way from the job to the first hospital, I let a few people know. I was on Facebook letting them know. Facebook was with me from the whole journey, from the beginning to I came home.
Facebook,
everything.
Y'all rock.
I had over 1,000 people following me, and I only had like 200 or 300 people on my page. And they followed from the time I was in the ambulance to the time I came home and rehabilitation, all of that.
So you were live going there?
Yes, ma'am. I was live going to the hospital. I was live. While I was at the hospital, I was live when they rolled me down to the anesthesia to get the drugs. I was live. My son had did me live while I was under the drugs. I didn't know about that part until after.
Was you talking crazy?
Yes.
Anesthesia stuff.
The only thing I remember after seeing it is I told them, I said, if you could please have Dr. Morgan play the sound of the shofar. I asked him to find it on YouTube. And they was like, the guy that was rolling me down, he was like, isn't that where they blow that horn around Jericho? And I told him, I said, boy, you know a little something, something. And I was high as a kite on there. Head just all tilted back. Y'all, I ain't been high in my life.
And high on something.
And they actually, he found the sound of the shofar and they actually played it the whole time that I was in surgery. But back to where I was. Once they transported me from one hospital to the next hospital, and the lady came in and told me the procedure that I was going to have. My son and his girlfriend was up there. Before Dr. Brent Morgan came in, my son's girlfriend, which is now the mother of my grandchild. Yeah, it may be a glitch every now and again. The mother of my grandchild, she said, as for Brent Morgan, he's the best doctor. He did surgery, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask for him, just give me a chance to ask for him. And she just kept saying, Mama Tammie, ask for him. And while she was saying that, guess who walked through the door? Dr. Brent Morgan. And I had been telling Facebook all along, even up until that point. I said, y'all, God is orchestrating this thing.
That's right.
I said, even up to the doctor. I didn't even have to ask for the doctor.
No doubt.
He walked in the room, just tall, Caucasian man. And, he was just saying what was going to be done. They told my family, prepare for this, prepare for that. What I was going to be able to do, what I wasn't going to be able to do. And this length of time and blah, blah, blah.
Based on them,
It was supposed to take 3 to 4 hours to go in my brain and remove the thing. It took an hour and a half. They scheduled it for, I believe, 3 and 4, but they ended up doing it at 11 something that morning. So it didn't give people time enough to get there in order, But
so
my
they were done by the time
they got there. I was already back, in recovery. That was a day or so before brain surgery because I was supposed to take some pictures with other leaders. So I said, let me go ahead and do this. I was already ready to do it, but they canceled it.
Right.
So I went on and took the pictures anyway. So the next day, I ended up in the hospital on that Monday. And that Wednesday is when they went in and they did, you know, the brain surgery. And this is 29 staples in my head. It's a horseshoe.
And what was the size of the tumor?
The size of a golf ball. And they said that they had to break the bone in my brain in order to get to the tumor. From where the tumor was, they had to break it. What I learned was that they had to drill my skull off, pull this flap back. They had to, in there is called a dura. They had to remove that in order to get down into that part of the brain. And when they stapled it all back together, like here, they didn't even touch this, but this is where my sensitive spot is now because of all of the nerves. And when they got ready to take the staples out, my girlfriend was there. Facebook followed that. The next morning after brain surgery, they had a tube coming from my head to catch all the fluid and everything. And it was coming down where I was sleeping. And I was on Facebook the next morning as soon as I could talk. And I didn't realize that they stuck something down my throat. And that's why my throat was sore. I didn't realize they had put a catheter on me because I kept saying I had to use the bathroom. Nothing. I didn't know none of these folks did all this stuff to me. And I was letting Facebook know that I was fine and everything. But before they did this and they was rolling me down, it's on YouTube. You can actually see that one. I was telling them I was on my way down to get my head opened up and how God was about to do some marvelous things, and it wasn't no fear. I mean, I was too ignorant to be fearful. I really didn't realize what these people did to me until after I made it home. When I made it home is when I broke. But I allowed Facebook, I told them, I said, y'all do not pray anymore. Let's just thank God for what he's already done and what he's already done. And I mean, many people, they were like, wow, this woman is preaching from the ICU room. And just many. I will never know how those videos affect other people's lives. I will never know how many lives were actually changed because of that. I will never know how many people gain the strength and the courage to endure the things that they are going through now.
Just us in this room listening now. You know, and we have to be so conscious of our body. You know, just because something feels like a little something, we can't let it go on. We don't know what God is doing. I am so grateful for God for using me to go through cancer.
My God.
God is so good. It was an opportunity for him to use us to go through these things that we went through, because even though we had to go through it, all those people around us benefited from what we went through. And I just celebrated. Thank you, God, for allowing me, using me. You know, you use this little vessel to go through all that for somebody else. And it's such a blessing. It is such a blessing because we go through this stuff because we know who God is. And it doesn't affect us in the way that it affects those who don't know him. So we survive so many things that people would die from. Just because we know him. And we have received him. So when you say armed with fire, I can feel the fire. I can sit here right here in this chair right now and feel the fire that is attached to your life. And I'm so grateful for you for coming and sharing all of this with us. And I know there's more. I know there's more because you didn't stop being who you were. Facebook.
Facebook has
Tell them how to hook up with Pastor Tammie Sadler, prophetess, healing, fire, deliverance, all that.
Right now, you can connect with me on Facebook up under Tammie Sadler. It's just that simple. Or
can we go back and look at that other?
Yeah, on YouTube, you can look up the Job Experience, Pastor Tammie Sadler.
Yes,
and
I would love to see that. Oh my God.
It's all on my page. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, up under the Job Experience.
The
because
Job
that's what
Experience.
we named it, the Job Experience.
That's so wonderful. We're going to put those credits at the end of this at the end of this segment, so you'll be able to go on and find Pastor Tammie Sadler in Armed with Fire Healing and Deliverance Ministry. Yes, yes, yes. Because the more and I love the way you added to the ministry. So what we go through should add something.
And it was confirmed by my apostle, the bishop, and another source that.
And I meant to thank Apostle R.E. Jones.
Yes,
for you.
Apostle.
Yes, we love him.
Yes.
Oh my God, he was just here last week. And we just thank God for him allowing you to come see us and tell us everything that has happened in this journey. Is there anything that you would like to say to encourage somebody who's going through some difficult times right now?
Lord, I do so many lives.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a talking machine. What I would say is, don't give up.
Yes.
Don't quit. Don't lose hope. And don't lose faith. When you think that people should be there and they're not, don't worry about it.
Wow.
Because God will fill that void. Those people that leave you when you're down, don't count it against them. It's just that they don't understand your pain. They don't understand the things in which God is allowing you to go through. They don't understand the birthing process of what the anointing is costing you. Not everybody's trials and situations are the same. Not everybody's anointing is the same.
That's right.
There's different things that we must all go through, that we must all face in order to achieve what it is that God has purpose for us to do.
Yes.
I can't do what God has called you to do and be affected in it. You can't do what I've been called to do and be affected in it.
That's a preach.
Amen.
Right. Yes.
The power of God is what is going to do what is needed to be done. And he chooses particular people to carry that weight, to carry that anointing, to carry that so that others can gain from you. He put his best soldiers on the front line. He knows what he's doing.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Just don't give up. Even through depression, I fought my way through. Even through wanting to commit suicide of my ministry and my own life. In my faith, I still press through.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You have to be able to have gone through something in order to witness to somebody that's going through what they're going through.
Yes.
But until you become an experienced or a learned one, there's nothing you really can do to really touch that person's soul. And that's what we're after. Their soul, not their flesh, but their soul. Allow God to work with you. Allow God to heal you. Allow God to be that God in whom he say that he is. No matter what other people do. Just keep holding on to the master's hand. Because I'm going to say this and I'm going to let you go. Romans 3 and 4. Let God be the truth.
Yeah.
And every man a liar.
Amen. Amen. And on that note, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.